Okay, so you're thinking about studying abroad on a scholarship, but you're worried about all the usual hurdles, like language tests and crazy high tuition fees? Well, we're about to break down a pretty unique opportunity in Kazakhstan, step by step, that might just be exactly what you're looking for. So here's how we're going to tackle this. We've broken it all down into 6 key parts. We'll kick things off with the opportunity itself, then get into the nitty-gritty of the financial deal and see if you're even eligible. After that, we'll walk you through the entire application, what to expect after you apply, and we'll wrap up with a special look at studying medicine. All right, first up, the opportunity. Look, there are a ton of scholarships out there. So what makes this one from Kazakhstan so special? It seems like it's part of the country's big push to become a real education hub in the region. And for students like you, that means some seriously attractive terms. Let's see what's actually on the table. Let's just get straight to the biggest headline, the thing that makes everyone's ears perk up. If you're applying for an undergraduate degree, this scholarship gets rid of one of the most common and, let's be honest, most stressful barriers. You do not need to take an IELTS or any other language test. That's huge. So how big is this program really? Well, every single year, the government of Kazakhstan opens its doors to 550 international students to come and get their degree. That's a pretty significant investment they're making in bringing in talent from all over the world. But here's where it gets really, really interesting, especially if you're a recent high school grad. Just look at this breakdown. The vast majority of these scholarships, a whopping 490 spots, that's nearly 90%, are for bachelor's degree students. It's an incredible gateway for your undergraduate studies. Okay, moving on to Section 2. What is the deal exactly? Before you get too carried away, it is absolutely crucial to understand this one thing. This is a tuition-free scholarship, not a fully funded one. And believe me, that distinction is everything when it comes to planning your finances. So here's the basic trade-off. The government pays for your entire university education and even gives you a monthly allowance to help with living costs. That's the amazing part. The flip side is you've got to get yourself there. So things like your flight, your visa, a place to live, and health insurance, that's all on you. And speaking of that allowance, let's look at the actual cash you can expect each month. These stipends are designed to help you out with your day-to-day expenses while you're studying. And as you can see, the higher your level of education, the more you get. Now listen up, because this is a critical detail you cannot afford to miss. While your tuition is totally covered, that monthly stipend, it's performance-based. You have to keep a 70% average or higher in all of your subjects every single semester if you want to keep that money coming in. Okay, so the offer's on the table. The next big question is, are you the right fit for it? This is where we figure out if you tick all the boxes. So let's dive into the eligibility requirements and see if you actually qualify for this. And right away, you can see the requirements are pretty different depending on what you're applying for. For bachelor's applicants, the game changer, the massive advantage, is that you don't need a language certificate. For master's and PhD folks, though, it's a different story. You'll need to show proof of your language skills on top of having a really strong academic record. So if you've looked at that list and you're thinking, yep, that's me, then it's time to get down to business. This next part is your roadmap, a step-by-step blueprint for putting together an application that really shines and helps you avoid any common slip-ups. First things first, you've got to gather all your documents. Think of this like packing your bag for a big expedition. A valid passport is an absolute must, obviously, along with your school transcripts, a really compelling motivational essay, and of course, some strong letters of recommendation. Once you have all your paperwork ready, the online process itself is actually pretty straightforward. But the most important part of this whole 4-step journey is right at the beginning. Step 1. You have to find the unique code for your specific program on the university list. Getting that code right is everything. It makes sure their application lands in the right place. So you've gathered everything, triple-checked it, and hit that submit button. What happens now? Well, this is where the real competition heats up. Let's take a look at the selection trials that separate the huge pool of applicants from the final lucky few who get the scholarship. This timeline gives you a really clear picture of what to expect and when. So after that May 31st deadline, things start moving pretty fast. You might get an invite for an online psychology test in June, then an online interview in July, with the final results coming out near the end of August. So yeah, you'll want to mark these dates on your calendar. And when it's time for that interview, you have to remember this key piece of advice. They are not trying to trip you up with tricky academic questions. It's a real conversation about you, your passions, your personal story, and what's really driving you to choose this unique adventure. Just be yourself. All right, finally, let's talk about a really compelling opportunity that's part of this whole program, the path to becoming a doctor. I mean, considering the insane cost and competition for medical schools around the world, getting an MBBS degree tuition-free, well, for a lot of people, that's the ultimate prize. For anyone who dreams of being a doctor, this is a total game changer. It just wipes out so many of the biggest obstacles to getting a medical education abroad. We're talking about a tuition-free, English-taught degree, all without the pressure and stress of some super competitive university entrance exam. It's incredible. But, and this is a big but, here is the single most important piece of homework you have to do. Even though the degree is recognized globally, you absolutely, positively must check if it's approved by the medical council back in your home country, especially if you plan on practicing there one day. Seriously, this is a non-negotiable step for your entire future career. So there you have it. We've broken down the benefits, the costs, the requirements, the whole process. And now, the final question isn't just can you apply, but should you? This scholarship offers this unique mix of amazing opportunity and personal responsibility. You've got the map, now you just have to decide if this journey to Kazakhstan is the right next chapter for you.